All right. Good afternoon, good evening, and wherever you're watching from, folks. Thanks for joining us quickly. Now, this is not going to be a long broadcast, but we're here along the Bomi Highway, somewhere precisely right at the Race Institute Junction. And just the other day, the Ministry of Public Works was here, and they were carrying out demolition exercise for the expansion and the construction of this particular road. So the project includes the expansion of the Japan Freeway, and the project starts from the Gabriel Tucker Bridge as far as onward to the Simpor Bridge area, and then it extends as far as Clay Junction, and again from Clay Junction it also goes towards the Bo-Waterside or Genema, where Liberia shares border with Sierra Leone, and then it also extends further towards to Bomi County. So wherever you're watching from, we just want to highlight the demolition exercise. We were here just the other day, my teammates were here, and if you remember this famous Rick's Institute signpost, or a signpost that was always standing right here at the Rick's Junction, the Rick's Institute Junction, it was brought down just the other day by the Ministry of Public Works, and several structures right here at this junction were brought down, just to name a few. If you look right across the road there are other structures that were brought down as part of the demolition exercise. And so just to enlighten you a little bit, this particular road will be expanded into 4 lanes by the Ministry of Public Works, carrying out demolition of structures along this particular end. So so now today the demolition continues. The way the Ministry of Public Works did it, they started one side of the road. They started demolishing structures on one side of the road, and now they are carrying out the demolition on the other end of the road. So we're following them now, though they've left this particular place where we are, but we just want to board the vehicle, and then we drive along the road and show you some of the structures that have been demolished, just so you follow the process. We've been doing this for quite a while now. We're literally the only media institution that has been bringing actual visibility to this particular demolition exercise. So we just didn't want today to pass us, so we thought to come here. We were here just the other day, but we just didn't want today to pass us, so we had to run here just to show you that the demolition is ongoing. When we go ahead, you'll see the machine, except that it's kind of stuck according to the engineers and they're working on it. But when we go ahead, we will show you the machine, and you will see that the demolition exercise is still ongoing. So our driver will pull the car now, and we'll start driving along the road, and we will show you what the process looks like. But the demolition is still ongoing. First of the Bomi Highway, the Japan Freeway expansion from Gabriel Tucker Bridge to Simpor Bridge, onward to Bo-Waterside, onward to Bomi County. So my chauffeur will board the vehicle quickly, and I will just drive through and show you on the sides of the road as the demolition continues, and then we can bring this to a closure. But we possibly might not be here on tomorrow to show you the process, but also they will be carrying out demolition of structures along this particular route. So let's board the vehicle quickly, folks. So you going? Thank you. Easy. Yeah, great. You can sit somewhere in the middle. So yeah. Okay, so folks, we will now drive. We're here here along the Bomi Highway. We'll just drive you through, and of course show you what the road looks like. There've been lots of structures that have been brought down, and as we're driving through, you'll see the structures along the road. They're bringing down trees, they're bringing down homes, makeshift structures, you know, lots of them are being brought down. So basically this process has been ongoing for quite a while now. The Ministry of Public Works, according to the engineers, told us that they had like 10 days to do this, but they are trying to make sure they can do it within less than 10 days based on the resources they have. So we've been following them all through. We've been showing you know, the various places that they've been demolishing. If you look right here, there's this small filling station right here on the side. They brought it down, they demolished it, but some portions of the road have got, you know, have got not more structures in the way, so you will not notice a lot of structures being demolished on this side, but again, as we drive on a little bit, you will notice that there are a lot of structures that are being demolished just to give way for the construction process. The intent for this particular demolition is basically to enlarge the road and make it a little wider than what it is now, because come to think of it, this particular road is an international road. This road leads to Sierra Leone. It also leads to Guinea. So come to think of it, the same very way the government of Liberia is in the process of enlarging the Roberts International Highway, the RIA road, to give it that international look, that international standard. It's the same very way that the government of Liberia is working on ensuring that they can expand this road to make it appear, or to give it that international nature. So as you drive on, we'll be showing you the structures that are being brought down along the road. This particular portion, like I said, do not have most structures being brought down. So, but as you drive on, you will see other places where they're bringing structures. Probably this filling station, of course. I'm sorry for that. This filling station right here. But there's a bridge right here, so that's one major reason why this particular structure still stands. But this is the same very route, if you notice, in the past or back in the day. This is the same very route that was being used by bulk mines to take their iron ore to the free port of Monrovia using the train track. So this particular road had the train track on the right hand side, and the old structure, the old infrastructure, the framework, the frame, for the train, those giant size steels are still planted in the ground. So obviously it appears they might remove those old structures, because I'm not sure if the government of Liberia still intends to use this route, maybe for the transportation of raw iron ore using train, but that was done back in the day. So but those giant size frames are still standing there, so those giant size frames still stand there. But if you look right here, folks are still doing self-demolition of their own structures. If you look at this structure right here, they're removing their own zinc, they're removing the zinc, and trying to rebuild the structure, because it's fine, it will obviously be removed. So we can now go a little further now, just to show you other structures along the road as we move on. But yes, a lot of structures are being brought down as it relates to this demolition. Right here on this side, these buildings have all of these buildings have been brought down, as you can see. Some of these structures are very old structures, so it's not taking the Ministry of Public Works quite some difficulties to have them brought down. So as far as the demolition is concerned, it has gone as far as the Po River end. Within the Po River area, they've brought some structure. In Po River, they ain't got huge structures along the road, so they'll only be maybe during some deforestation, let me call it that. They'll be bringing down some trees, breaking down some old structures that are no more in use. No, that's an old one. Just short there for a few seconds. So for Po River, it isn't like that. So but let's drive on and show you as currently the fresh demolition that's taking place is ahead of us. So we just want to show you some of the old work that was done, just so this to give this broadcast, give you a thesis of what it's all about. But yes, the folks are still back in the spots doing some temporary structure to sell their goods, but the actual permanent structures that they built that were in the way or the right of way of the construction, they brought all of them down. Now I know there are concerns for some of you that can you just show the machine? As you can see, the machines are still here from the Ministry of Public Works. One of it is parked right here. If you look on the other end there's another one ahead of us. As we drive on, we will show you. But all of these structures are being brought down. There is the fence to this building right here on our right hand side, has also been brought down. I mean, just to show you that there is actual demolition taking place for this project. Now, there are concerns for folks who are having an argument of the discussion that folks who have properties in the right of way have to be probably paid or what have you. The Ministry of Public Works or the government of Liberia have done all necessary things to make sure that whoever has property in the right of way have been dealt with, or have been told, or have been given sufficient time to have their properties, leave the road. There is a demarcation that the government of Liberia has for properties that have been built along the road. So if you are in violation of that particular demarcation, your property will be brought down, except that you will be given a time frame before the demolition itself can take place. But it's not like in a case where the property is your personal property, it's your personal land, and in that case there can be raft payment and other issues or situations like that can be taken care of. But in this case, from as far as Po River towards the Gabriel Tucker Bridge, and in fact even from Po River beyond towards the Bummy end and towards the Genema end and Bo-Waterside end, if you have a property in the right of way of the road construction and you are in violation of the government demarcation of where property is to stop as it relates to the distance away from the road, your property will be brought down for the government of Liberia to enlarge the road. Like I keep saying, come to think of it, it's an international highway and it has to be given that look. I mean, so another thing again is that this particular road is situated in the industrial part of Liberia. This particular road is the road that's hosting trucks belonging to mining companies. We all complain about the mining company in Bombing there should be, even in Cape Mount, the mining companies in Cape Mount, B Mountain, in Bombing, there are other mining companies there in Cape Mount, Celometal, come to think of it, in Cape Mount, in Bombing, in King Jaw, in B Mountain, in King Jaw and other areas, their trucks are plying this road. And one of the reasons why the very Bombing highway that needs attention now that the government is going to work on is it takes the highest number of trucks. If you see these 10-12 tire trucks applying that route, taking iron ore to the free port of Monrovia here and there. So for the government to make sure they can work on this road and ensure that it's durable to host these kind of heavy duty trucks, expansion has to take place. Probably, I'm just assuming, but probably once the road is enlarged or is wide enough, the government can decide and say there's a specific portion exclusively for heavy duty, while lightweight vehicles can ply the other portion. Something of that nature will be brought into play. But again, wherever you're watching from, we'd like to say thanks for watching and keep following us. We've left the Riggs Institute area. We're still here in the Brewerville area currently. Very soon will be at Iron Gate, where demolition have taken place already. So if you look here, all these structures getting to the populated area, you notice that the structures are being brought down. On the other end, if you see here, all of these structures are all being brought down. So yeah, you gotta. So let's drive on now as we move on. We were here just the other day when the demolition reached this far. We remember showing you all of these, structures that were being broken. If you look here, they're still breaking structure. So now, like I said, they did one side of the road. So currently, as we speak, they're doing the other side of the road. So right now, if we go ahead of us, we will show you that they've started demolishing structures on the other end of the road. But if you look here, all of these structures have been, demolished. This particular building, a very beautiful one, of course, but it has been divided into two halves. And yeah, so there you have it. So leave your comments in the comment section, those of you watching. Let's talk about the economic viability that's attached to this road. I keep mentioning that this road is an international road, of course, but I mean the economic value that it brings to Liberia One may say it's obvious there's need for us to upgrade it and make it better because it has a whole lot of economic potential attached to it. It will put food on the table of businesses, it will put money in government covers. And so while it's true that demolishing these structures hurts, people have paid their money and they've lived here for ages and what have you. But it's obvious that you can't assume that they themselves did not know that they were occupying government property, so it's obvious. Yes, but I mean, there's mining taking place. There are several counties, in fact, 2 counties now that are on this route that we have mining taking place in these counties. So it's important for this road to be worked on because there's a lot of money coming from it in these 2 locations. Also, if you look at the tourism potential that this road could contribute to greatly, I mean, we wouldn't be talking about why structures are being broken down and what have you. Because come to think of it, how would I call it? Grand Cape Mount alone, Roberts Port alone, bro. If you were to go to Roberts Port and see the tourist potential that Roberts Port alone has, you appreciate, or you ask government to speed up this process and get done with the road. You can go to Cape Mount, you can go to Roberts Port and come back in maybe in 2 hours. Yeah, you can take like an hour to go, come back, quickly. Because Lake Piso alone is a huge tourist attraction for folks. And once this road is okay, there's gonna be folks wanting to go to invest in Cape Mount. People will want to go to invest in Cape Mount. People want to go build their resorts along Lake Piso. People want to go to the great Roberts Port. Roberts Port alone, the appearance of that particular city alone. I wish you have seen a drone shot from above of Roberts Port, so you know what I'm talking about when I say Cape Mount has a huge tourist potential. Yes. There's Lake Piso alone, sorry. There are a bunch of islands. I was in Cape Town the other day and someone was telling me about a moving island. A moving island. The Magro moves. Once Lake Piso gets full, the Magro moves and goes to another location. It doesn't die. I mean, the trees are green, the Magro remains green. It's thick and strong and you can have access to it, but it moves, So there's lots of tourist attraction for which when this road is completed, folks will obviously benefit every Liberian. So the demolition continues. We just wanted to show you around. We're in the Broadville area currently as we speak. We're making our way back. Today we're not going to be following the machine like the way we've been doing it, throughout the rest of the days. Follow the machine, show you around, all of that. In fact, as we speak, the guys have possibly gotten through with today's work, so their machine is somewhere parked ahead of us there. But somewhere in the VOA area, as I speak to you currently, that's exactly where we are. And I mean, lots of structures have been brought down around here. If you look closely, as we show the camera, I mean, you can see that stores, including stores, are being brought down. No structure is being spared. I know there were complaints of selective demolition. Folks were complaining that certain structures are being left out, but it is not like that because we are not the engineers. The engineers have got the diagrams, they've got the demarcation that they want, they know where they want the roads to stop. So I don't think there's going to be selective demolition. Structures are going to be left. I don't know. I don't believe so. I mean, this is for all Liberians. This is government project, and I don't think government will want to stab themselves in the back by leaving certain structures untouched and then removing other structures. Everyone is being affected. Everyone that's in the right of way is being affected. So, but yeah, we're in the VOA era. I mean, Broadville, and just showing you the process, the demolition process itself. Yeah, that's it. So let's drive on now. Somewhere here at the Corners gas station, formerly Total gas station. That's where we are. So all of the structure that you see, I know you're still seeing people on the road selling. People still doing their businesses, but they're temporarily doing so. If you look closely, they just have umbrellas, just smaller, boots, and that's just basically what they're doing. But the actual structures, the actual, permanent structures were in a way, they have all been brought down. So if you look here, even here, this is a business area where plank was being sold, but I mean, they brought the entire thing down. If you look here on my right hand also, all of the structures have been brought down. They're no more standing in a way. So yeah, let's double up a little bit and go ahead. We'll show you where the machine is currently. They're busting stores, they're busting buildings, they're breaking structures down. They're not playing, actually, guys. They're not playing. So if you're a Liberian following this video, or you don't necessarily have to be a Liberian, if you are in the Mano River Union area, because this road is an international highway, it leads to Guinea, it leads to Sierra Leone. And when I say Mano River Union, Guinea and Sierra Leone are part of the MRU. So if you are anywhere within the MRU, I mean anywhere within the region, you should kindly applaud Liberia, or Liberians should applaud themselves in the comment section for this, massive effort by their government to enlarge this international road so that it leads to Guinea, it leads to Sierra Leone. If you've ever been to Sierra Leone, you'll notice that if you drive from Gendema or Bo-Waterside, as we call it, you can drive, straightly to Freetown with no hindrance. There's nothing like bad road. I know in the past it was, messy, the roads were bad, you couldn't go. But now, I mean, for the Liberia end, it's okay for the Liberia end, but a little work has to be done. Now, this is the machine right here. This is where we are. We're going to get down and show you quickly, how far the guys have stopped. So they're working on this other side of the road. We just want to stop a little bit just to show you that we can board the vehicle and go right back to town. We're not going to take long. Let me hold that for you. So here we are. This is the machine right here. If you notice, these folks are trying to work on their structure. Yeah, these folks are trying to work on their structure. I mean, they've demolished it already, so they're just trying to put it back together. And so what have you? We decide when to come, man. Yeah. So just if you can come a little closer. Right behind me here is the machine. As you can see, this is a store. This is a store, and this is where business was being done, but they brought it down. I mean, the entire store. As you can see, the steels all showing and what have you. They brought it down. It's no more. So I mean, but the machine is just right here. This is where today's work is going to end. So they will resume from here beginning tomorrow. Just the other day they did the other side, and today they started with this side. They're going back towards the Simport Bridge end. They're calling this phase 2. What they did was phase 1. So once they're done with phase 2, they will start again from the Po River end, and then they will start going towards the Bomi end. Now let me show you this building right here across the road. Before we go to that building, as you can see, the folks here, their fence was brought down. So they are making a new fence temporarily, as you can see, using zinc just to close up their structure. But I mean, the fence there has been brought down. A lot of structures behind me, if you can look closely. We brought all of these structures down. So I mean, basically that's what the work looks like for today. This building right here has been brought down also right across the road. That entire building, I mean, there is no portion of it that's left. There's no portion of that building that's left. They brought the entire thing down. So quite unfortunate for that family, but I guess they'll have to resettle somewhere else. It appears this was a business center, so probably that's what development does. And there are a lot of roads in this country where demolition will take place and people might be affected. But we want to see if we can talk to the public work demolition supervisor to tell us about today's work, how far they've gone, and just a little summary of today's work, and then we can bring this video to our end. It's not going to be a long one, just to show you what have you. Sir, can I have a word with you, sir? So just a minute, I will talk to the public work demolition supervisor, and he will tell us how far they went with today's work, and then we can bring this to a closure. Can you come a little closer? Let's have a little conversation. Thank you. You've been doing quite a magnificent job over the period of time. This is phase 2 now for the demolition, and I was told, I don't want to speak for you, but I was told you're going back because you did one portion already. But let's talk about today's work and then how you intend to continue with the other portion as you go ahead with the demolition. But tell my followers your name and your everything.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Sylvester Nkolo from Zuni. I'm the supervisor for this project between St. Paul Bridge to Po River. As you can see, we are here at Yellow Flower on our way back, turning our back to Po River. So when we're passing the other day, we have the market and the person who has the property said they're going to demolish it. But when we go here this morning or the afternoon, the building stay, so we asked them and decided to break it down. While we're breaking it down, then the machine had a little problem. So as you can see, so we are packed waiting the mechanic to come so that we see reason to get it up so that we can continue on our journey.
Okay, so do we have situations where the owners of the structures can talk to you and say we'll demolish it ourselves before you come and then you return?
No, so what we can do, or what we've been doing after we get on the 30 days or the 45 days, when we get to you, sometimes I say I will do it, then I will allow you, when it calls us to stay for at least 10 or 15 minutes, we can stay. But if that's something that will cause us for more than a day, so now we can let it pass. So we can see, you see here today, we are across the road. So the building, we mark it and they said they were demolishing it, but as we got there and nobody stayed on it, so we decided to move it. So we're just done with it, about to leave now, the machine is giving a little bit problem. So I think you can see across the road, we are done. So we're more approaching the Bible College to Wawuzu, Brewery Store, Iron Gate. So the major where we are is somewhere around Iron Gate. As soon as we get to Iron Gate, then the mean we'll be finishing. So if everything goes well today and we're done with the machine, I think we can reach around Brewery Store today.
Okay. We said we had 10 days. I remember the other day you said we had 10 days.
And 10 days for tomorrow.
So the 10 day ends tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yes.
So are we convinced we will meet the deadline tomorrow?
Yeah, so we left now with the machine. If the machines come to his head, if the mechanic comes and work on the machine, I think we can complete the work tomorrow. But later than Monday.
Yeah. But I think you've done some magnificent job already. Throughout this process during phase 1, what are some of the obstacles that you came across?
Okay, so every time we reach our structures, people say, boss it, you know, just that. But what we usually told the people is our work is not to destroy things. Our work is to get the right thing done. So when we get to your property, we'll ask you to remove your things. We have your things there, but there are other people who are cooperating, so now they deep roof the building. So when we get there, we just go and get it up from there. So, but difficulty part we encounter is always, you know, the most of the thing we encounter is that the talking.
Fine, I wanted to say that because the people are disenchanted because you're bringing our properties down. It hurts, we understand. Development comes with pain. There's this lady who I wanted to talk to, but she's sounding very angry and very aggressive. The words that she's using are not safe for radio and TV. And, you know, I wish I could talk to her so she could, like, you know, in a more refined way express herself, but she's, you know, and I understand how she feels. Are you experiencing people trying to stand in your way because of how disenchanted they feel?
More than that, on a daily basis, we encounter such people on a daily basis. Even if we park like we park now, people complaining, why we park? Yeah, imagine. So we don't even have time for lunch. So it's normal. But that's it. You know, in a developing country or to get certain development, you need to allow certain things to be done. And you will not listen to the noise in the market, then you will not do what you're supposed to do as a government.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, I mean, hopefully tomorrow or later Monday, I guess, we'll be done with phase 2. And then once we're done, towards the bombing end, going to Bo-Waterside or Clay Junction and what have you, what do we have planned for those places?
Okay, so I can't speak to that now because it's not in my purview.
Okay.
So I can speak to what is in my control or my purview because I have work to be done between Po River and that of St. Paul Bridge.
Okay. That's awesome, and I think you did quite a great job. We have been following you all through since you started this, and I can say thanks to you for the Liberian. But on behalf of the Liberian people, I can do that. But again, I think from what I saw, you guys have been doing a magnificent job. And I guess if you have any message, probably for your teammates, for Public Works, even for those whose structures you were breaking, how they cooperated and what have you.
So we want to use this occasion to say thank you to the Minister of Public Works on both Guinness and all of the ministers, the directors, and the staff of Minister of Public Works. And I want to extend my thanks and appreciation to my director, Edmund Lord, and Stephen Kamara, and the workforce or zoning division for giving us the responsibility to execute and to be among those people who are seeking the development of our country.
Do you feel like you made history?
Yeah, we made history as a Liberian. And I want to say again to all those people who are always in the habit of occupying government alley, waterway, railway, I want not to disease. The day we have opportunity to buy land, the first thing we should engage Ministry of Public Works to be specific, the zoning division, to ascertain, to know if those places is not in the government railway, alley or waterway, because it's painful to use your last money on your building or structure, then tomorrow at the end of the day, then people come and demolish it. I know the pain that it's causing, but we just need to do it as a Liberian to see our country to another level.
Thank you very much. I can't find a right word to thank you. I mean, you've been talking to us all through. You've been helping us to provide the necessary details since we started this project, and I'm grateful. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to my senior brother D-Flow and the crew from ERBC. I'm grateful.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So make sure you have all necessary details to find out whether your property is not in the right of way of government's future development before you buy a land. Folks facing this situation now are feeling very bad. It's disheartening that structures are being brought down, but again, it's for the sake of development. This is the expansion of the Japan Freeway project. The demolition exercise started a few weeks back from along the Gabriel Tucker Bridge towards the Po River and on phase 1, and phase 2 now is going backward towards town on the other end of the road. We just spoke to the supervisor. You heard from him and the difficulties they experienced, and he's also appreciating his team, but also sending a word out there to folks buying properties along the road to be careful on how they purchase their properties in case of circumstances like this in the future. My name is Anthony Williams. We'll rejoin you once this process continues. But wherever you watched us from, I'd like to say thanks for watching and thanks for leaving your comments in the comment section, especially for those our diaspora followers. We really love you guys. We'd like to say thanks for watching and thanks for following. And to every single one of you who followed us from across Liberia, wherever part of the world you followed us from. Thanks to Josh for being behind camera. And thanks to D-Flow Flomo, of course, the team lead. My name is Anthony Williams. Bye-bye for now. Yeah.